The clatter of the ceramic mug hitting the kitchen tile echoed the shattering of my world. Coffee splashed like dark blood across the pristine floor, mirroring the stains spreading across my soul. Sarah stood there, pale and trembling, her eyes wide with a fear I'd never seen before. A fear that wasn't for me but for herself. "It's not what you think," she choked out, her voice barely a whisper. But it was exactly what I thought. A phone in my hand, her unlocked phone, was a testament to her deceit. A gallery of messages and pictures I wished I could erase from my mind. Liam, her coworker, the one she told me was just a friend. Liam, who was now the subject of intimate late-night texts, stolen glances, and grainy photos. Liam, who was not her husband. The air in our sun-drenched kitchen, usually a haven of laughter and shared breakfasts, thickened with unspoken accusations. The scent of burnt toast, once a symbol of our mundane mornings, now smelled of betrayal. We'd been married for 7 years, 7 years of building a life together. A life I thought was strong, founded on mutual respect and love. We'd weathered job losses, family squabbles, and the quiet anxieties of growing up together. Or so I thought. Now I was staring at a stranger, a woman I no longer recognized. "How could you?" I finally managed, my voice raw with a pain that felt physical. "How could you do this to us?" She didn't answer. Instead, she burst into tears, a deluge of guilt and self-pity. "It just happened," she sobbed, clutching at my arm, her touch now feeling like a brand. "I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. Please, you have to believe me." I pulled away, the urge to recoil from her touch overwhelming. A mistake? Was the first kiss a mistake? The second? The nights you stayed late at work? Were they all just mistakes? Each word was a shard of glass, cutting deeper than the last. She pleaded, she begged, she promised it would never happen again. Again. She swore she loved me, that Liam meant nothing, that this was a temporary lapse in judgment, a moment of weakness she'd forever regret. "Please, just one last chance," she begged, her voice cracking with desperation. "I swear, I'll do anything." The hollow ring of her words bounced around my brain. Anything? What would anything even mean? Would she be able to unkiss him? Untell him she loved him? Unfeel the intimacy she had once reserved only for me? The simple truth was she had already crossed a line I could never uncross. My fingers went to the ring on my left hand. A simple band of platinum, an emblem of a promise she had so carelessly broken. Without a word, I pulled it off and threw it at her. The cold metal struck her cheek with a dull thud, leaving a small red mark against her pallor. I didn't wait for her to say anything else. I just walked out. I spent the next few weeks in a haze of anger, hurt, and confusion. I barely ate, couldn't sleep. My work suffered. The only thing that kept me tethered to reality was the growing realization that I couldn't allow Sarah's actions to define the rest of my life. She had stolen something valuable from me, something irreplaceable. But she would not steal my future. The initial urge for dramatic confrontation faded, replaced by a calm, cold determination. This wouldn't be about yelling or screaming. This wouldn't be about revenge fueled by rage. Instead, I would focus on reclaiming my life, on building something better from the ashes of our marriage. I started with the apartment. It was our place, filled with memories, both good and bad. I contacted a realtor, a sharp, no-nonsense woman named Eleanor, and we began the process of selling. The first offer came in higher than I expected, and I accepted, a small victory in the sea of defeat. Next, I hired a lawyer, not to drag Sarah through the mud, but to ensure the divorce was swift and clean. I didn't want a messy court battle. I just wanted out. I wanted to sever all ties, to start anew. I moved into a small, minimalist apartment in a completely different part of the city. I furnished it simply, choosing pieces that resonated with my new perspective, items that didn't carry the weight of our shared past. It was smaller, quieter, but it was mine. One evening, I was scrolling through social media when I saw it. A picture of Sarah and Liam, beaming at each other, their hands intertwined. A blatant, unapologetic display of their newfound relationship. A surge of anger, familiar and unwanted, pulsed through me, but it quickly dissipated. I realized, with a clarity that surprised me, that I was no longer hurt. I was simply indifferent. The real turning point, the moment that truly felt like revenge, came a few months later. I had been working late, a common occurrence in my new life, when my phone rang. It was Sarah. Her voice was hesitant, almost timid. "Hey!" she started, her usual bubbly tone replaced by a flat monotone. "I was just wondering how you were doing." "I'm fine," I replied, keeping my tone neutral. "Right, well, about the divorce. I need your signature on some papers. Send them over. I'll sign," I said, ready to end the call. There's something else," she continued, her voice barely audible. "Liam. He left." My hand tightened around the phone, but I didn't allow myself to gloat. "Left?" I asked simply. "He said it was too complicated. He didn't want a relationship that started with infidelity. He said he couldn't trust me." A small smile tugged at the corner of my mouth, a smile that held no satisfaction, but rather a quiet understanding. Karma, it seemed, had a strange way of working. "I see," I said, my tone still calm. "I messed up, didn't I?" she whispered, her voice thick with tears. "You did," I confirmed, the words devoid of malice. "But you'll have to live with that." "See, can we talk sometime?" she asked, a flicker of hope creeping into her voice. "There's nothing to talk about, Sarah," I said, my voice firm. "Final. We're done." I ended the call, a sense of profound peace washing over me. I didn't need to hear her beg. I didn't need to see her grovel. Her punishment wasn't something I had orchestrated. It was something she had brought upon herself. The man she had risked everything for had discarded her. He couldn't trust the woman who had cheated with him. And now she was facing the consequences of her choices. I didn't gloat. I didn't celebrate. Instead, I just felt free. The weight of her betrayal had finally lifted. I had taken back my life, and I was finally ready to move forward. My revenge wasn't in her suffering, but in my ability to heal and thrive without her. My victory wasn't in her downfall, but in my ascent. I picked up my phone, opened a new app, a dating app. It felt strange, foreign, even after so long of feeling so attached to someone. But it was time. I was ready. It was time to start again, to embrace the possibility of a future free from the ghosts of a failed past, a future filled with the promise of real connection and genuine love. My story wasn't over. It was just the beginning of a new chapter, one that I was determined to write for myself. And this time, it would be a story of healing, strength, and resilience, a story of my own making. The only person who could write that story now was me, and I was ready to begin. So guys, if you all liked today's story, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you for watching.